Okay, so we got the Rogue trailer. She's officially a Vanguard. Awesome. I'm gonna go through everything here that you can know about Rogue. She should be pretty good from what I've heard, from what I've seen so far. I think she's gonna be amazing. But I'm gonna break down everything that goes on, just kind of give my general reaction, and then kind of talk about what I think it's gonna do. Okay, so let's get started.
Your
With
girl Rogue is ready for action.
okay, so already I love the Rogue look. She seems so it's melee with a sort of block attack here, and you have a basic combo. So I already have to pause to kind of take a look at this, right? So it seems she kind of has like an Iron Fist sort of moveset in the sense that melee combo, but she actually has combos this time. Yay. Um, that was just her 1, 2, 3. So it seems the third hit does do a knockback. I'm not sure because she got the KO, but judging by the hit, I'm assuming the third hit would actually knock back the opponent. She seems to have like a manual hand block that she does here. And then okay, as we move through, we can kind of see. So she can do some sort of reversal, right? So it seems that she can do a sort of lunge when she's done a certain point, and then
Take a
I
seat,
assume the percentage of that damage. Right? So
darling.
she interesting. That was a combo that she did, right? So she does her block,
Darling.
right? Then she does her E. So her E actually is a forward lunge into the upward kick, which is really interesting. And then she has the second part of that, which is the dive. So all of that is all one move, right? And this is her shift, which seems to be some sort of kind of general Daredevil like area of effect. That's a shield. That's just her base. Okay, so this is the crazy thing. So she has a CC move, right? I know everyone's freaking out about the actual ability steal, but let's just talk about the CC here. So what that does is at any point you can use your grab, you stun them, they're on the ground, they can't move, they've been CC'd, your friendlies can presumably keep hitting them while this is happening. Then you get the ability. She does a kind of finisher, and then she can use the ability from each opponent. That's crazy. I'm really curious what ability she steals from each person, and I'm going to do a video when she comes out, kind of detailing who's the best person to steal an ability from. Because let's be honest, there's going to be certain people that's not right. Like I'm assuming Punisher, you don't steal anything, right? Unless you just get a gun. But we'll see how that goes. So yeah, okay. So she has a very good kind of area of effect here, and it seems to pull people in, which is great. And then I see the team up with Gambit right there, um, which I kind of went over in my patch note discussion video, which I would suggest watching. Okay, so I'm assuming we get kind of a general. So okay, Thor, Strange, Groot, and Emma. Just what I would expect, right? So we're getting she gets Thor's kind of lightning ability, she gets the shield, she gets Groot walls, and she gets the iron mode. Oh, interesting. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's back up here. So three more. Seems to be DPS and then Invis. So she gets the Iron Fist. She gets the healing. Invis. She seems to get the polar push, and then she gets the flame attack by that. That's super interesting.
Better watch out. I'm feeling
So
the
that has to be really interesting. Okay, let's see the ult.
nighty night, sugar.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Feeling a little.
So I know that this drains ult percentage, which I'm assuming is what that yellow bar is. Yeah, it is. Right? So you can actually see their ult percentage. That's crazy. So knowing the exact number of ult percentage will be very interesting, right? Like that'll be extremely helpful. Now I'm curious as to what that right side is, that meter here, right? So she ults, she seems to do an area effect where she drains, she gets damage boost. I don't think her team gets damage boosted, but I'm not sure. It seems to last 8 seconds. But this bar right here, right? So you seem to be, there's a bar for each roll. and what you're draining from that role. I could be completely wrong on that. I have to definitely take a look. But that's interesting. Um, she looked great. She looks really good. I'm very interested to see how she works here. Um, I'm mainly excited. I know everyone's really excited about the ability steal, and of course that's amazing. I could go on about that for a long time. But I actually really like the way her combos work. I mean, look at this. This is very direct, right? Like this is exactly the sort of combos that I expect Iron Fist to have. Is you know you actually have to use them in the right order. You got to be careful, kind of like Daredevil. Though Daredevil is a little spammy. Um, it heals from that too, don't you? But she gets overshield, and then the drain does heal as well. Oh, actually, I am curious. Yeah, her ult constantly heals herself. It's almost like a support ult. This does seem more like a support ult than a tank ult, which is really interesting. It does give her damage boost. So is she stealing abilities? Because look at that. It seems she has like the insignia who she's stolen from. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Yeah, this is great. Really excited about potential abilities. I think the obvious ones are obvious, right? Is like she's gonna steal. I don't know what she steals from Mag. I assume the shield. Maybe a bubble. Bubble would be interesting. But like Moon Knight, right? Can she steal from Moon Knight? Is there something to steal from Moon Knight? Overall, if you really want to get good at Rogue, you're gonna have to know her entire kit front to back. I think she is one of the. I think she is the first 5-star Vanguard, and that's for a reason. Is she 100% requires a lot more work than I think anyone else will. Um, I think that to get good at her, you're really going to have to know your kit. You're going to have to know what does she do, what abilities do I get here, what am I, what am I going to be doing in certain situations? Because your alt it seems very offensive, but it can really shift the tide. Is if you can take away alt charge, you know, if you can stop a support alt. So I think Rogue ulting in first would kind of be ridiculous because you're basically guaranteeing they can't counter with their supports. And that's not counting if there's any like stupidly broken ability she can steal. Like I'm trying to think like if she gets a bubble, like that's crazy. Um, and then I mean this ability just seems ridiculous, but it doesn't seem she benefits her team at all with it. So we'll see. But it's definitely a strategist ult, I should say. You really got to be very smart with it. It's not just a traditional sort of alt, so that'll be very interesting. So yeah, overall, I'm really excited. I really like it. I think it's gonna change the meta up in a good way. And I think Rogue's gonna be absolutely fantastic. So I'll definitely get that video out where I'm kind of going over her abilities the second she comes out. Go over who she steals. That'll probably be my longest how to date because I want to probably show almost everything in the kit that can be stolen. Uh, yeah, so be excited for that. But thanks, guys.